हेलो फिर डॉक्टर्स, कैसे हैं आप सब? होप आप सभी ठीक होंगे। मैं हूँ श्रेया। मैं आपको आगे का टॉपिक एनसीईआरटी से पढ़ाने जा रही हूँ। ये है पार्ट 3। द सिक्रीशन ऑफ gonadotropin and LH and FSH increase gradually during the follicular phase and stimulate follicular development as well as secretion of estrogen by the growing follicle. Both LH and FSH attain a peak level in the middle of the cycle, about 14 days. Rapid secretion of LH leading to its maximum level during the mid-cycle, called LH surge, induce rupture of the Graafian follicle, thereby the release of ovulation. The ovulatory phase is followed by the luteal phase, during which the remaining part of the Graafian follicle transform as the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum secrete large amount of such endometrium is necessary for the implantation of the fertilized ovum and other event of the pregnancy. During the pregnancy, all the event of the menstrual cycle stop and there is no menstruation in absence of fertilization. The corpus luteum degenerate. This cause disintegration of endometrium leading to the menstruation, making a new cycle. In human being, menstrual cycle ceases around 50 years of the age, that is termed as a menopause. Cyclical menstruation is indicator of the normal reproductive phase and extend between the menarche and the menopause. Fertilization and implantation. During the copulation, coitus, semen is released by the penis into the vagina. Insemination. The motile sperm swim rapidly, passes through the cervix, enter into the uterus, finally reaches to the ampullary region of the fallopian tube. The ovum released by the ovary is also transported to the ampullary region, whereas fertilization take place. Fertilization can occur only if the ovum and the sperm are transported simultaneously to the ampullary region. This is reason why not all the copulation lead to the fertilization and the pregnancy. The formation of the fusion of the sperm with a ovum is called fertilization. During fertilization, a sperm come in contact with the zona pellucida layer of the ovum and thus induce change in the membrane that block the entry of the additional sperm. Thus, it ensures that only one sperm can fertilize ovum. The secretion of the acrosome help in the sperm enter into the cytoplasm of the ovum through the zona pellucida of and the plasma membrane. जोना पेलिसिडा यहाँ पे ओवम है. दिस इज जोना पेलिसिडा लेयर. दिस इज द सेल ऑफ कोरोना रेडिएटा एंड दिस इज स्पर्म. नीट 2026 का सवाल है. री नीट के पेपर में भी क्वेश्चन आया है और आप यहाँ से नीट के पेपर में भी क्वेश्चन देख सकते हैं. फिर उसके बाद यहाँ पे क्या है? फिर उसके बाद आ गया है प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. दिस इंड्यूस द completion of the meiotic division of the secondary oocyte. The second meiotic division is also unequal and result in the formation of second polar body and haploid ovum ooted. Soon the haploid nucleus of the sperm and that of the ovum fuse together is to form diploid zygote. How many chromosomes will be there in the zygote? One has to remember that sex of baby has been decided at this stage itself. Let us see how. As you know that chromosome pattern in the human female is XX and that is male XY. Therefore, all the haploid gamete ova produced by the female have the sex chromosome X, whereas the male gamete sperm, the sex chromosome could be either X or Y. Hence 50% of the sperm carry X chromosome while 50% carry Y chromosome. After the fusion of male and female gamete, the zygote would carry either XX or XY depending on whether the sperm carry X and Y fertilize the ovum. The zygote carry XX would develop into the female baby and XY would develop from male. You will learn about the chromosomal pattern in chapter 5. That is why scientifically is correct to say that the sex of baby is determined by the father, not by the mother. The mitotic division start at the zygote, move through the stomach of the oviduct called cleavage through the uterus and form 2, 4, 8, 16 daughter called blastomere. The embryo with the 8 to 16 blastomere is called as a morula. The morula continue to divide, transform into the blastocyst, and it's move further into the uterus. The blastomere is the blastocyst are arranged into a outer layer called trophoblast and the inner group of cell attached to the trophoblast called inner cell mass. The trophoblast layer then get attached to the endometrium and the inner cell mass get differentiated as the embryo. After attachment, the uterine cell divide rapidly, cover the blastocyst. As a result, blastocysts become embedded into the uterine endometrium of the uterus, and this is implantation and lead to the pregnancy and the embryonic development. After the implantation, finger-like projection appear of the trophoblast called chorionic villi, which is surrounded by the uterine tissue and the maternal blood. The chorionic villi and the uterine tissue become interdigited with each other jointly from the structural and the functional unit, developing embryo, fetus, maternal body called placenta. The placenta facilitate and the supply of oxygen and excretory waste material produced by the embryo. The placenta is connected by the embryo through the umbilical cord, which help in the transport of the substances to and form the embryo. Placenta also act as the endocrine tissues and produce several hormones like HCG, gonadotropin, and the human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone. In the later phase of pregnancy, a hormone called relaxin is also secreted by the ovary. Let us remember the HCG, HPL, relaxin, and the produced in the woman only during pregnancy. In addition, during pregnancy, the level of other hormone like estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine, etc. increase several fold in the maternal blood. Increased production of these hormones is essential for the supporting of the fetal growth. Maternal blood. Increased production of these hormones is essential for the supporting fetal growth, metabolic change in the mother, and the pregnancy of maintenance. Immediately after the implantation, the inner cell mass embryo differentiate into the outer layer called ectoderm, inner layer endoderm. The mesoderm soon appear between the ectoderm and the endoderm. These three layers give rise to all the tissue organ in adult. It need to the mentioned here that the inner cell mass contain certain cells called stem cells which have potential to give rise the tissues and the organ. What are the major feature of embryonic development at the various month of pregnancy? The human pregnancy lasts 9 months. Do you know how many month pregnancy lasts in dog, elephant, cat? Find out human being after 1 month of the pregnancy. The embryo heart is formed. The first sign growing fetus may be noticed by the listening to the heart sound carefully through the stethoscope. By the end of the 2nd month of the pregnancy, the fetus develop limb and digit. By the end of 12 week first trimester, most of the major system are formed. For example, the lymph, external genitalia are well developed. The first movement of the fetus and the appearance of the hair of the head are usually observed during the 5th month. By the end of other 24 week, end of the 2nd trimester, the body is covered with the fine hair, eyelid separated, eyelash are formed. By the end of 9 month pregnancy, the fetus is fully developed and ready for the delivery. This is very important point. नीट सभी पेपर में और पिछले कितने भी साल में रिपीट हुआ है. फिर हम लास्ट टॉपिक पे आते हैं, पार्चुरेशन एंड lactation. The average duration of the human pregnancy is 9 months, which is called as the gestation period. Vigorous contraction of the uterus at the end of pregnancy called expulsion, delivery of the baby. This process, delivery of the baby, childbirth, is called as a parturition. Parturition induced by the complex neuroendocrine mechanism. The signal parturition originated from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, which induce mild uterine contraction, fetal ejection reflex. This triggered release of the auxin from the maternal pituitary. Oxytocin act on the uterine muscle and cause strong contraction, which is turned into the stimulate secretion of oxytocin. Thus, simultaneously reflex between the uterine contraction and the oxytocin continue, result in the stronger contraction. This lead to the expulsion of baby out of the uterus through the birth canal, parturition. Soon after the infant is delivered, placenta is also expelled out. What do you think? Inject induce LAV. The mammary gland of the female undergo differentiation during the pregnancy pregnancy and start producing milk toward the end of pregnancy by the process called lactation. This help the mother is feeding newborn. The milk is produced during the initial few days of lactation is called as a colostrum, which contains several antibody, absolutely essential development resistance from the newborn baby. Breastfeeding during the initial period of the infant growth is recommended by the doctor from the bringing up healthy baby. तो ये था हमारा चैप्टर नंबर फर्स्ट। आई होप आप सभी को समझ में आया हो। अगर समझ में आया हो, अच्छा लगा हो तो लाइक कीजिए, शेयर कीजिए एंड कमेंट करके ज़रूर बताइए। थैंक यू सो मच।